status update, May 2024, well, early May 2024. This is the last status update that I did. I will leave the link in the description, and yeah, you can see briefly what the timestamps look like. I'm not going to go over really exactly what I said before, and I'm going to go more or less straight into what I'm feeling compared to not only last status update but also a couple of earlier status updates from April 2023 and from May 2024, end of May 2023, sorry. It's kind of comparing myself now to both my previous one and a couple, like 1 year back, more or less, exactly 1 year back. So I have a couple of notes here, and yeah, basically, I would say that now I am kind of nebulous, right? My mind is pretty nebulous, and I have a hard time thinking about the future in the mid-long-term parts, which is pretty tough for me because I am a person who has basically based his soul happiness basically in contingent on the future being better than the present, right? So if that doesn't happen, it will be suck a lot. And right now, I don't even see the vision for that, right? The vision that I had some times ago, like it's so early or whatever the fuck, it's not materializing. So, and I don't see how it will materialize. Like the vision is way less clear. Not only the vision, it was never really a vision. It was more of a feeling. And now it's like the feeling isn't even there, right? Now I don't even trust in the feeling. So yeah, I have a hard time thinking about picturing myself in the future and all this. And yeah, a year passed, basically. I was thinking about spending time on retarded stuff, then having like this kind of intention to do things, then realizing myself already the next month that if I wasn't doing these things, it was because of something. And yeah, in the road, I had a roadmap and all that I noticed myself a year already ago that was incomplete. And now I'm feeling the same things, right? I am feeling that fake roadmap, well, that roadmap that I made is not fake, but it's really incomplete, so it's useless, and that there are reasons missing in there. This is a video from May, for example, and you can see here that I mentioned money. Well, not sure if you can see it really well, but yeah, this was me in May commenting on me in April. And yeah, for example, here in cars, yeah, I used the video from April, the original one. And in the video from April here, for example, it says, why not make it, when I'm talking about cars and money, it's like, why do I want to work on cars? And yeah, it mentions that I want to do it on my terms, right? But I don't mention why I want to do it on my terms, right? I mention why I'm not working on cars right now, but I don't mention why I want to do it on my terms, right? So there is always like a level to it that, so this addresses some things at a surface level, but it doesn't address the why behind that. That is kind of pretty consistently what I noticed, and I also noticed it back then, but now I notice it with a different context. For example, that is superficially tied to community. It's like, why don't I want to do it on my own terms versus on my terms, right? It's like, why do I have this feeling of not wanting to belong to that collective of people who works on cars paid, right? Why don't I want to be a mechanic, literally, right? And there are some reasons, right? And I'm not getting into those reasons, and yeah, for several reasons, right? Like, and there are several reasons, I guess, that I could, for example, I don't want to just be a mechanic that work for pay because the pay is little, but it's not just that, right? For example, right now I need money, and if I got that job for some reason, I would accept it. The problem is that I don't belong in the community of people who have that job, right? That is the thing. I have not studied the same things, even though I don't have the same physical knowledge that those people have. So those dynamics, plus a huge thing, the huge gap that I always leave in all my videos, the huge unaddressed, well, I call it huge now because it's growing in my perception right now. But some of those days, it's simply something that I leave unaddressed. Lately, the thing is that I have been going within me, that the process is like, compared to a year ago, I have gone way the only thing that I have done basically, because the only thing that I have to show for are these videos, which are pretty vague, and the less vague part is me going within and exploring and thinking and all of those and introspecting. And that is the only process. And that is a process that I have kept more or less not private, fully private, because I have rambled a lot here, but the key parts of it, the key missing pieces in these roadmaps, in these videos, in all these, are the things that I have kept within. And those reasons are always what is missing from these videos, from their roadmap, from whatever, right? And I'm not sure. Yeah, and I think that the new roadmap and the one, if I were to actually make it, will have to actually address it, and I will probably not share it here, right? I may document it, but I won't share it like this, because there is a reason why I'm not sharing this thing, right? But I have to think about it. I have to take that into account. That is, I guess, the thing that I am realizing, right? This is what it has it really taken me a year to realize this? Sadly, I think so, right? I think that is kind of the conclusion to which I am arriving. That it really has taken me 1 year, or even like 1 year and a half more so, to realize this. Or 27 years, because I'm going to be 27 years old, right? That it has taken me all this time to realize that is a part that I need to address, or that I have been ignoring. That is sad. Well, it is sad, and that is why I am always, I guess, moody, why I'm always feeling kind of down, because it is sad. It is sad that it has taken me so long to, I guess, realize that part, that thing. Yeah, this is basically it. I have talked to some people, right? Messaged people on Discord, messaged people on whatever, contacted some people, I have talked like on the side with people about these things, right? Throughout a year or 2 years or something like this. I have made posts on Reddit about it for years already, very slowly, but I had never, I don't know, it was always that it has been something that I have more or less kept separate, and that I'm trying to integrate or something, and that it has come to this, right? It has come to this point of like being a blockage or whatever, I don't know, of me realizing that the reason why I had all these plans or whatever, not the reason, not the singular reason, right? But that I have arrived at a certain point where now that is kind of the reason, right? I could, like, that is the reason that it is blocking me from many things. This is my theory, right? Maybe, what am I? May 2024. Maybe I will see this in May 2025 and realize that I was wrong again, right? But I have a feeling that maybe it's not going to be like that, right? Maybe it's going to be different. I don't know. Maybe I could give a little bit more context. I'm going to just give a little bit. I think that even for future me, it will be obvious, right? That I am being obscure for the audience, which there is basically no audience, but identitarian things, right? These things that relate to how I feel about myself and how I relate to others in the world. That those concerns are top of mind, you could say, and have been increasingly top of mind throughout the years, right? Throughout these couple of years, or maybe even more, right? And it has taken me solitude to think about these things, right? Because when I am actually engaging with other people, for some reason, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Maybe I will find better words for this. Maybe I will never find words for it. I don't know. Maybe I will keep going around this all forever. Who knows? Okay, I will go over my channel, and I have made some more introspective videos lately. You can see here that this is the last February update, so I have made a couple of introspective videos like this. The towards and awareness was pretty introspective. These videos were introspective. These videos are also kind of introspective as well. This wasn't, but this is also introspective. This is, I guess, something that I had pending. And yeah, I have made some videos in that sense. I have streamed. I have reached more than 100 days. Today is day 123 or something like this. And I reached day 100 here 3 weeks ago. I didn't know it at the time, but I checked later, and it was these days. Reading Swift Security's life story was day 100 streaming. I have applied to jobs, a ton of jobs. Well, not a ton, like 10, maybe. Maybe less. Maybe 10, including the ones that I have mentioned. So maybe I have applied to 5 extra jobs or something like this. But my applications are always like pondered, right? So I have applied to 2 regular jobs, regular engineering jobs, more or less. Then I have applied to software jobs for a couple, then for remote type shit, a couple more, right? Gotten all rejections / ignoring, getting ignored. I have applied to one, I have gotten a callback, but then not a further callback. And I'm still pending in that sense with this. I have gotten one gig, one editing gig, no, 2 editing gigs, actually. I have gotten 2 editing gigs. For around 250 euros, 200, 150, and, well, dollars actually, not euros. Euros, well, even less, so 180 and like 30 or something. And then, but both of those gigs were like one time. I mean, they were not supposed to be one time, but they ended up being one time. And that's basically, in the job part, that is how it has been going. Okay, I figured that the questions that I am going to ask myself that I got from last stream, I think these are like questions that I wanted to ask myself every update, I will talk about the things that I have talked already about in this update, but through the questions, right? So first, how do you feel about your money situation right now? But the gigs have, even though they have been like super small, they have padded a little bit of the sufferment or whatever, right? They have given me a small buffer of like at least not being hyper worried that I'm going to actually run out of money super soon. That plus crypto going up a little bit, but now it's back down. But yeah, having crypto on the back of my mind plus these gigs have given me a little bit of breathing room, but nothing outside of like being able to plan shit out, right? It's more of like giving me a little bit of breathing room. How do you feel about your job employment situation, daily activities right now? Okay, so my job employment situation, the editing gigs that I have gotten have already ended. Therefore, I feel bad about that they have been too short, right? I feel bad about it. I feel kind of rejected, I guess, or like I didn't fit in the project, something like that, right? Which makes me feel bad. I feel bad about that. Employment situation, I feel bad about it as well because of the lack of money, not necessarily because of the tasks that I do. How do I feel about my daily activities? I actually like streaming, and I actually like that. But I don't like that I don't have money, right? That I can't show up to stream, I don't know, not authentically or something, but with interesting things, because the thing before on my mind, thinking before being able to think about the stream, is thinking about money, right? That is the problem. I am thinking about employment and all that before thinking about what to do on stream, which makes stream worse, which makes me feel like streaming is useless, right? This kind of loop. Then the MSEC, how do you feel about my employment situation? Bad enough that I have applied to a regular job, more or less, and that I am considering if they even call me back. It's pending, not good vibes, but I am thinking already about quitting the job even before getting called from the interviews. there, right? Because it's a super low, well, not super low salary, but it's a low salary that doesn't give me independence, right? It gives me a bigger buffer compared to the gigs, right? That's why I'm considering getting it. But it's not enough for me, right? For my goals and all that, which sucks. Art pastimes you'd like to learn or practice? I could go back to the same ones that I said before, but right now the problem is that I am not thinking of these things, right? I am not thinking of these things. I think that the main things that I think about as pastimes or whatever would be something like going to therapy or some shit like that, and doing vocal training or something like that. Singing, that kind of thing, maybe. Those are the things that I feel more like that I would like to improve. That is kind of the focus, for reasons that may be revealed in the future. And I guess it sucks to think like that, but I do think that it would take. I was thinking that if I get this job that takes so much of my time, and the only thing that I would have left to use my time for would be basically for those purposes, right? That is the only thing that I would be developing like that, right? Maybe I would do a little bit more of web development, or maybe that frustration of not having time for myself would make me want to pivot to tech, to a healthier career in tech. But that is kind of how my mind goes, right? It doesn't even go like that. It would probably be like 1 year of working there and then getting kicked out. Well, because the contract is a substitution contract. And then reevaluating with a little bit of savings, then I would start thinking anew about what I want to do now that I have this experience behind my back of the job of probably sucking or something like that, right? Or maybe I like it actually, right? Who knows? How do you feel about the environment you live in right now? I don't like living in my parents' house, but it's actually not that bad, right? It's not bad. They are more or less in a good relationship or whatever. They are not angry. Like, it's not at the worst that it's ever been by any means, right? It's probably even at the best that it's been here in my house. So it's pretty comfortable for the moment, except when I don't have a job, right? So I would suspect that having that job would actually chill my mom up for a bit or whatever, and I don't know, give her some kind of inner peace regarding me or whatever the fuck, right? So I don't know. In that sense, I don't feel that bad about staying here for the duration of that job. But I definitely, and since I have a very difficult, the thing that I mentioned at the beginning, that I have a very difficult time picturing the short-term future or mid-term future. So I don't even know, I don't know what I would want to, I know what I want, but I don't know what it's attainable, right? That's the problem. I don't know what I will be able to attain. So, and I can't picture that. So I can't picture the next best thing for an environment of myself. I don't know where I would want to live if I were to live on my own, but in realistic terms, right? So I don't even bother thinking about it, right? Maybe I should, but at the moment that's how it is. So sorry for telling it like that. Okay, this is the sum up. Not that bad at my parents' house. I obviously want more independence. But I don't have a sense of towardness to anything aside from this concept of more independence, right? I don't want to go anywhere in particular. So my mind feels cloudy in that sense. I don't know. I only like the sense of independence, aka being away from, does not make sense for me. It does not make sense as a pursuit, right? I don't want to pursue independence. It doesn't make sense, right? I would want to pursue actually something, right? A career that takes me somewhere, right? A relationship that takes me somewhere, right? A community that takes me somewhere. Those things I would be elated to pursue, but I don't have any of those. So I am feeling cloudy about the environment I live in right now, right? I am feeling acceptance towards it with a sense of, right? With a sense of meh, of knowing that it's bad, that I'm here still, but that I'm not going to do anything about it until I feel a sense of towardness towards anything. How do you feel about following your intuition recently? I don't know. I just wrote this. I have a general sense of cloudiness towards anything external, as I said before, as I have been saying, but also internal cloudiness. And it's not only also, right? It is that sense of internal cloudiness which clouds my vision outside, right? It is cloudiness within that gets in front of my vision, more or less. I would define it like that. But it's the kind of cloudiness that I have put upon myself by going within, right? This sense of cloudiness is caused by going within in the first place, right? If I had not gone within and I had gone outwards, I would have not been experiencing this much cloudiness probably. I would have postponed the feelings that are causing the cloudiness after when they arise, right? Which would be when I have a time for going within, but in the future probably, right? That is my way of seeing it right now. So I don't feel bad for going within, for having to go within, because I had to do it, right? That is the problem. What really makes me happy? Right now, I guess it's the small things, right? Really small moments of happiness. Actually, I am feeling cloudy about this as well, right? A good food, having a different kind of food makes me happy, makes me excited about life and all this, right? The small things like that make me really happy. Well, not really happy, maybe happier than usual. But they always come with a cost, right? They always come with something attached to that I don't like as much, right? That is muddying the happiness, the feeling of happiness, I guess. Then something that I have to answer to this are either the unknown and like the known unknowns. For example, I don't know many things that would give happiness, romantic love, those kind of things. It's so sad to think about this, right? But I literally don't know what it feels like, right? It's insane to have reciprocated romantic love or something like that. I don't know how that feels like, but I assume that is something that makes you happy, right? So that is a known unknown. I know that is something that exists and that I don't know it. But I also assume that there are unknown unknowns, right? There are things that, I don't know, maybe tied to this kind of sense of cloudiness or whatever, right? That when you go within and you find more or less what you're about, and when you express yourself authentically, something like that, right? Something along those lines, I assume, may bring some sense of more happiness. Maybe, right? That's the problem, that because I don't know, and it's an unknown, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. Who really makes me happy? I don't know. That really is the difficult part. Who makes me happy in general? My friends, hanging out with friends, sometimes makes me happy, right? They do lighten up my day. They are joyful people. I find them, when they are talking about certain things, I find the conversations interesting. I find them interesting, blah, 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 right? These things, they bring joy to my life. When they are talking about other things, then they don't bring joy to my life, and the opposite, right? So, I don't know. That depends. My family. I don't know. It sometimes brings happiness, it sometimes doesn't, right? And it's not... Yeah, it's like that, right? It brings a lot of weight and sometimes it's more weight. I feel more the weight than any sense of happiness, like mega happiness, I would say. But yeah, I do feel some kind of the love or whatever, right? So in that sense, it does make me feel happy sometimes on all this. How is my health? Physically acceptable, but there are certainly things where I could improve. I mentioned this already in a recent video that I make. It's called Answering Karima's Questions or something like that. And yeah, I mentioned that physically I am more or less decent, but there are some things missed, like some things that worry me, like my jaw feeling sometimes strange, my back posture and all that in general, my lack of flexibility, for example. Those are the main things that bother me, I guess. Physically, well, mentally, probably pretty bad in that sense, right? I think by the cloudiness that I mentioned all the time in this video, you can sense that I'm not exactly in my brightest time. And yeah, that's basically it for this video. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.